Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Andy from Wholesale-Help.com and welcome to another episode of Reader's Questions.
Reader's Questions!
Alrighty, Wholesale fans, the title of today's question is, why are my eBay items not selling? In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 3 key elements that make up a successful eBay product. And then with a 4th element which joins everything all together. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly thank those of you that have bought my eBay tutorial DVD. I've been blown away by the response, and thanks to you guys, we've raised over £300 for cancer research. That's over $500 US, so thank you all so much for that. You've really made a difference. If you haven't yet bought yourself a copy of the DVD, the charity donation is ongoing, so 20% of every DVD will be going straight to cancer research, which is a fantastic cause that will do a lot of good. And I know the DVD will do you and your business a lot of good, so it's kind of a win-win situation. There is a link in the description box below to a video that tells you all about the DVD course, and at the end of that video you will get an opportunity to purchase one. So if you haven't done so already, go and have a look at that. This video will be waiting for you when you come back. Alrighty then, so let's get cracking with this video. Why are my eBay items not selling? This email comes from a Wholesale Help Gold mentor student. It's a private email, so I'm not going to read it all out, but essentially the overview of the question is that I researched my niche, I found an item, I've bought the item, I've had some good sales, and now the sales have slackened off. Why are my items not selling? Now, there are a few things here that we're going to go over, but let's take it step by step. I want to get into the 3 key elements that I have devised, which you should always have in order to make a buying decision for your eBay business. The 3 key elements are demand, profit margin, and competition. You need all 3 elements to get a successful outcome. Without just one of them, your business will not work. You need a demand for your item. Without demand, it doesn't matter how big a profit margin you have, and it doesn't matter how little competition you have. If no one is there to buy it, you're not going to make any money. You need to have competition within reason. If the competition is far too high, it doesn't matter how much demand and how good a profit margin is. No one will ever see your product because it will be swamped by the other competition and you won't get a fair chance at selling your item. And obviously it goes without saying that you need to have a profit margin for your item. If you're not making any money, the whole game is pointless. The levels of each of these elements can vary as long as you have all 3 in place. For example, if you have a healthy profit margin and relatively low competition, if the demand is a little bit lower, it's okay. That would still work because when the buyers do come, there's a good chance they'll be coming to you because of the lack of competition. And when they do come, you're going to be making good money because you've got the right profit margin. So if demand is the weak element and the other 2 are good, you can still make your business work. Also, if profit margin is the weaker element, I don't like to do it this way, but you can still make it work. If there is plenty of demand and not very much competition, then you can get away with making less money because you're selling 20, 30, 40, 50 items a day. You can get away with only making £2 or £3 per item because you're selling so much. You're still making a good enough profit to make it work. Generally, I don't like to do it that way around, but if you're onto a winning item and that's where the profit margin has to be, then you're good to go. Lastly, competition is probably the one that makes it harder. If you've got good demand, a high profit margin, but if your competition is not where you would like it, you're still going to struggle. But at least if there is a high demand to meet that slightly higher competition, you may be able to get your head in front of the right people and make a few sales. And if your profit margin is high, it may still be worth selling that item. As you can see, the elements can vary in strength or weakness, but you need all 3. So this is what you should be looking at when you're evaluating your product before you even buy it. This is not the thing you should be looking at once you've bought it. If you've got too much competition and you already have your item, you may as well just cash out. Reduce the price of your item until it starts selling. Sell all your items, get your money back and try again. There's no point steadfastly holding on to your items if they're not selling. That's why niche research is so key. You should be making all these decisions before you part with your money, so when you do invest in stock, you know you're buying into a successful item. Don't forget these 3 key elements, people. This is a golden eBay seller tip. Demand, profit margin, competition. If you live by these rules and check your products by these rules every single time, you'll always have a profitable and successful eBay business. Now, if you're appreciating this golden eBay seller tip, give me a thumbs up and share it on your social networks. I'd appreciate it. Now, in relation to the Wholesale Help members question, firstly, my answer would be re-examine these 3 key elements and make sure your buying decision is still okay. If it is, then great. You may just have a slight weakness in one of these elements. It may be that the demand is slightly lower than you expected, but if your profit margin is good and the competition isn't too bad, maybe it's just a slightly slower selling item. That's fine if you link it in with my 4th final factor. That's not easy to say. That's what I'm talking about, people. Scale. You can't expect to have one well thought out item in your eBay shop and for that to provide your entire eBay income. Some products are going to sell strongly, some products are going to drop off. Some will go through surges, while some are being quiet. The key factor that links everything together is scale. You need to find as many products as you can that fit in with those 3 core elements. The more products you have that fit in, the more stable your business will be. For instance, if the item that the member was talking about in question was only selling, say, 5 items in a month, you might say, well, that's not selling very well. But let me put it this way. If your eBay shop had 20 items and all of them were selling at that ratio of only 5 items a month, you'd be making 100 sales a month. And if your profit margin was £20 per item, you'd be making £2,000 a month. When you look at it in terms of scale, that's not bad at all. And as I'm sure you're aware, life is never uniform like that anyway. You'll have some that sell slightly faster, some that sell slightly slower, and when it's all evened out, you should have a nice, strongly selling, reliable business. The key is to get as many complementary items in your shop as you can. Okay, if some only sell 5 a month, that's fine. If you've got 30 of them, you're going to sell out in 6 months. That's no problem. That's a reasonable stock turnover. Other items, okay, you might sell quicker. If you have a mixture of faster and slower selling items, that's great. If your shop is full of items, you'll have a nice steady stream of profits coming in every single day. Scale is the key. There is strength in numbers, people. Use my 3 core selling elements. Couple it with scale. You will have a successful eBay business. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. If you have any comments about today's video, any questions of your own, any suggestions, hit me up in the comments. I reply to every single one. One last reminder, if you haven't purchased my eBay tutorial course, the link is in the description box below. Thank you once again for watching. My name's Andy Lawrence and I will catch you on the very next video.